Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Trenchless Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. And today I'm going to be running you guys through a handful of culvert inspections and one set of post-install pictures from a trip that I made through Colorado last week. Saw a little bit of everything here, a lot of misaligned joints, a lot of deflections, a lot of rusted inverts. So what it'll come down to is whichever these culverts make it through the winter, whether it's going to be before irrigation season, after runoff season, or after next irrigation season. These various owners do plan to take care of all of these culverts. So hopefully I'll have a handful of culvert inspections matched up with installation pictures sometime next year. So this was from a road closure related to a sinkhole forming right in the middle of the roadway. It's not related to this first culvert, but I'll go in a chronological order here. So backing it up to a few hours before that picture, this was just an ovaled, give or take 54-inch CMP in central Colorado. The owner here, they're not too terribly concerned about the condition of the pipe right now. But with some rust starting to form and the fact that they want to extend this pipe anyway, they are looking to align it. On top of that, they want to extend the shoulder. So there's a natural gas pipeline right here in this picture, a little bit off in the distance, but in case any of you guys can see that line. And so they will gain flow by going with a smaller pipe here as well. But on top of that, they have the benefit of having a smaller pipe because that new liner will be able to extend underneath this pipe and give them the shoulder length that they want. Outside of that, this is a ideal, I'd say, project site for culvert lining. Plenty of room to work with and from both the inlet and the outlet. It's relatively flat. It's not too far underneath the roadway, so getting down the equipment will not be an issue at all. So assuming I can make it out for that one, we will definitely have some pictures and videos from that installation. Moving on, this was the one with the road closure signs. That's where the sign was out here on the left. And then there was the second sign showing where the road was closed off on this side as well. The detour caused by this is not too long. It's never ideal. And it's definitely not for these folks who need to go all the way around to get back to town. But I guess no failing culvert is ever too convenient for anybody, really. And here you can see the culvert in question right here with that sinkhole forming right over the top of it. And with these two culverts, we were looking at either 66-inch original CMPs or 72-inch. With these culverts, I'll start with the one on the left here. This one was in quite a bit of better shape, and I'll show you why here in a second. The rusted invert is the primary concern, I'd say, with this one. Whether or not it's causing the sinkhole, maybe. But I'm going to guess it's this one. Looks to be in quite a bit of rougher shape. The misaligned joint here is where I took the measurement from, both across and vertically. I got measurements of about 66 to 67 inches. So it very well may be an original 66-inch CMP. And so in that case, these folks will probably want to use a 63-inch OD liner, or they'll want to drop down to a 54-inch. The water line's not too high, so if they want to, they can really downsize this pipe and go down to a 48-inch and not lose too much flow. But I'll leave that decision up to them and their hydraulic engineers. But with a sinkhole forming, they'll probably want to take care of this one before winter really gets here. And so that will mean that we may have some emergency pipe heading up to Colorado very shortly. Moving on to my next stop. This was a pretty ideal candidate for slip lining. The owner here has wanted to take care of this culvert for about a year now, but a lot of their funding was tied up, and the overall condition of the culvert didn't make them want to prioritize this one over some previous flooding issues they had last runoff season. But with it being under probably 30 feet of fill or so, and under a road that gets thousands, if not tens of thousands of cars going over it every day, this one is a fairly critical culvert for them. And again, they'll be able to slide the equipment right down this less steep slope here and crank out this 81 feet or so in I'd say half a day, build the bulkheads the other half the day, and then they can grout the annular space as soon as the next day. But you can see here why they want to take care of this culvert. The rusted invert is pictured quite well, but outside of that, the shape at towards the outlet is clearly not as circular as you'd want it to be. There are some deflections towards the outlet, and so that is what's giving them the most cause for concern. And so, yeah, they'll plan on taking care of this one after next runoff season, potentially after irrigation season, but we will see, and I will definitely keep you guys posted on the post-install pictures and videos of this one. Getting into the one install that I did swing by this past trip, I'll start with the picture. You guys can see here they extended the culvert out a little bit, but the primary concern here was that it's under a road that would cause an extensive detour if they needed to dig and replace it. So they just went ahead and slip lined some 96-inch spiralite inside this large diameter CMP and improve the hydraulics and increase the design life by another 100 years. And with this culvert, unfortunately, I was not on site for this install. I was actually up at the Wyoming install I talked about a few Trenchless Tuesdays ago. But this was this owner's first time working with spiralite, and they were able to slip line all the pipe in one day, and then from there build the bulkhead and the grouted the annular space at their own pace. But it was good to hear that using a slightly different joint did not slow them up at all, or hardly any, if at all. And while I was visiting them, they had me take a look at one other pipe they're planning on slip lining next year. This one's under, well, I'll start with the backstory. This owner believes they have inventory on about 90% of the culverts in their area, which, as far as I think any owner would be concerned, that is a very good rate. That gives these people the luxury of being able to plan out their funds, projects, and everything accordingly based on how that inventory looks and how all their condition assessments look. So with this one, they considered this roadway to be of the most importance. So they went ahead and lined up a few culverts for next year. They just had me take a look at the one. But here you can see shape still in good shape, but the invert is getting chopped away. But all in all, from the outlet, it doesn't look too bad either. It's just, if they're going to knock out the other two, they considered this one to be in that same class of deterioration as the others. So they will be slip lining this one. So hopefully I'll have some more pictures from this one as well. And wrapping up with me getting into the snow on my way back to Denver. This was a 48-inch CMP. And again, you guys can see here, the shape towards the outlet is not quite as circular as they want it to be. And given the social impact of digging and replacing this culvert that's, again, 30 to 40 feet underneath this roadway, it would cause a nightmare around the city. So they're going to go ahead and slip line this one. It's just a matter of whether or not they can slip a 42-inch through there, or if they need to drop down to a 36-inch. Either way, all the area this water has to go, it should meet the 100-year design requirements, but the engineer is going to go ahead and confirm all that information, and then hopefully we have yet another installation that we can share with you guys next year. So that wraps it up for this Trenchless Tuesday. But if you guys have any other culvert inspections that need to be done before the snow really starts flying, feel free to reach out and we will be sure to be on site. But outside of that, hope you all have a great Tuesday. Thanks.